Yo, it's Big Ant, man. We back. We gotta talk about this Joe Budden shit, man. Joe Budden got on the podcast today, responded to Tahiry, called her out, exposed her situation from his standpoint, then called out Jason Lee, exposed him for his shit. Basically, if you don't know who Jason Lee is, he the one that run Hollywood Unlocked Instagram page, popular Instagram page. It's a blog. That shit full of mess all day. If you into like shade room type messy pages, there's like basically more catered to women. Cause I fuck with blog pages that be catered to hip hop mostly. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing wrong with the ones that's catered to women. They just ain't for me a lot of the time. A lot of the posts ain't for me. Like they post half naked man and shit. I don't really want to see that because I ain't that way. But whatever. But Hollywood Unlocked, him and Joe Budden have been knowing each other. Joe Budden exposed that. Joe Budden basically went into Tahiry first. This on his podcast, episode 377. The highlights been mostly about Spotify, but he had to jump into this to respond and clear his name, saying, "Hey man, I did not hit Tahiry. I never hit Tahiry. We argued a lot. We fought a lot." He said it was a very toxic relationship. He said the relationship was toxic. He said the relationship was toxic. He said we was 24, 25, cheating on each other. I was cheating on her. She was cheating on me. But he's upset because he's saying she doing anything for a chick, anything clout chasing, anything to get notarized. And he said, man, this is a shame. Like, he said, I think everybody can agree that I came a long way from where I was at the time I dated her to who I am today. And just to see her like on the still same toxic shit, he's like, that's why he was saying that. And he was also saying like he felt like Tahiry was upset because like the way he described that situation with Vado, like, oh, Tahiry is the type that'll fight a man. She'll fight a man. And he was like, she just be on that. And he said, I guess he was thinking that he was reading that people were saying they was disrespectful and shit, but he held nothing back. He went in on her, just started going in saying, man, you used to hit me, you used to throw shit at me, you used to slap me. He said, you was abusive. You was abusive, but at that point in time, what does a nigga look like coming out saying a female is abusive? He said she was disrespectful. She used to hit him, chase him with knives, all that shit. That's what Joe Budden said about her. And Joe Budden was upset because in the interview, she didn't make it clear. She kind of was insinuating that Joe, she left it room for it to be a possibility that Joe was a nigga that broke her nose. And Joe was like, no, I'm not the nigga that broke your nose. That was a nigga you was cheating on me with, basically. Another nigga from New York. He came up to the club where she worked at, and they got into it, or they was out, or so they was at some club in New York. I forgot what they said, but Joe Budden was out doing something completely different, fucking around with another female. He admitted and said that, hey, she got the call, like, she hit him and was like, man, I got into some shit. Can you pull up? So he said when he pulled up, nigga had hit her in the face or whatever, broke her nose. And Joe was like, so what you want to do about it? She was like, nah, I don't want to do that. He this, he that. So Joe Budden was just like, all right, what the fuck? This shit went like that. Nigga was a known street nigga, basically, is what Joe Budden saying. So for her to kind of insinuate, then Joe Budden also said all this shit is documented. You could go to the hospital and you could pull up the reports that she even said that Joe Budden is not the nigga that hit her. Nobody. It was a nigga in the club that hit her, and it's documented that it was another nigga. So he just felt like for her to bring that whole situation up. And then he made a big, deep little accusation. This is why I got to go with the Jason Lee shit. So he popped it on a possible accusation. Star from Star Buckwild made the same accusation a little bit that this got something to do with iHeart and everything like that because Joe Budden made that backlash, and that's what relates to the last episode. He spoke on iHeart. He ruffling feathers right now, man, talking about all this ownership shit and how the creators is getting fucked over and how they need to be paying niggas more money because they making so much money off of niggas and they cheating the culture just like they did with the rap game. But selling media content through podcasts is new. So Joe Budden fighting that fight right now. But he said our heart fucks with old boy Jason Lee. He said Jason Lee It's no. He said he's supposed to feel like this is a coincidence for them to do this on his 40th birthday, to bring up allegations that, you know, Joe Budden was beating you on his 40th birthday, right when he called out Spotify. We gonna call it for what it is, bro. You know, you can't sit up there and play a blind eye to it. Then Joe Budden exposed that, hey man, Jason Lee, you know what I'm saying, bro, this dude here, this is what he don't like about bloggers, and this is why I don't like let niggas calling me a blogger. They'll try to expose anything, do anything for clicks and money and clout chasing. Joe Budden said that man faked a cancer scare just so he could get on TV. He said this man faked a cancer scare just to get on TV. You know what I'm saying? And then he also said that, nigga, I'm sitting down with you at the Mondrian, nigga, trying to help you with your deal. I'm out here trying to help you. Like, I'm trying to help you with your deal. You know what I'm saying? And he basically speaking for the creators like, nigga, I'm out here trying to win for y'all, bro. Like, when I take these meetings, I'm doing something for the whole culture, for us to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the Budden sitting down taking meetings and shit with these type people at these streaming sites and these radio companies, basically, because it's the same shit almost at this point, where like these radios and these people that cut our checks, they ownership and shit, they should be giving us more of the money. But y'all out here trying to tear me down on my 40th birthday. So that's what that is, man. Joe Budden put all that out there. We're going to see what happened. I'm only speaking on that shit because it's on this podcast. You can go listen to that shit yourself. Joe Budden Podcast, episode 377. That's my favorite podcast. I ain't never met Tahiry. I ain't never met Jason Lee. But, hey, it is what it is. It's Tahiry. Joe Budden used the examples of you hitting men. She punched Consequence on Love and Hip Hop before. It was to take up for Joe. Joe was like, look, man, I'm not the nigga that want my girl to be fighting. That's just what she did on her own. He said that's who she is. She's aggressive like that. She hits men. Then he said that also her throwing the apples at Vado. Come on now. It is what it is. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see what they got to say. If they come back with some real response and say something responsible for the journalism side, I could speak on it. But this shit right here crazy, man, because we got a lot of women out here. I'm not saying this was Tahiry's situation, because I wasn't there. But it's a lot of women out here faking beatings and shit and looking like victims. And we gotta do something about that shit. We gotta do something about that shit, bro. Because it's a lot of women out here getting beat on, raped, and drugged, and all type of weak ass shit. And that, if you a nigga that don't care about that shit, bro, that could be your mama, that could be your daughter, that could be your female cousin, anybody. You don't want that shit, bro, like in the world. But and the other side is it's women who faking that to get ahead and get talked about. And I'm not saying that about Tahiry, but it's been going on a lot. A lot of women faking abuse when women out here trying to fight for abuse, you know, to eliminate abuse. So, yeah, man, y'all tap in, hit the comment section, Urban Politician _Big Head, Urban Politician TV, baby, 1000.